Well, hello there. Welcome back to the 13th hour, my horror-loving friends. Today, I have a little gift for all of you out there that have chlorophobia. That's the fear of clowns. Just in case you're wondering, I had to search up the name of the fear of clowns, so if you're in the same boat as me, let me know. But that means we get the privilege of deep diving into the story and history of none other than Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Now, I know clowns can scare a lot of people, so I thought to break the ice a little bit, I'll tell you a little joke. Are you ready? Yeah? Okay. Two cannibals are feasting on a clown. One gets up and looks to the other and says, "Does this taste a little funny to you?" You get it? Like, funny, clown, haha. Please don't click off the video. But I'm hoping you're feeling a little more settled and you have yourself a snack maybe, because it's time we begin looking into the history of Pennywise the Dancing Clown. It, or as the creature is most commonly known to be, Pennywise the Dancing Clown, is an ancient entity that resides beneath the town of Derry in Maine. Every 27 years, this trans-dimensional evil rises to feast upon the children of Derry. He uses his powers to lure them to him. No child is safe in this town. But who exactly is Pennywise? Or what exactly is Pennywise? And why is he feasting on the kids? For this, we should probably start from the beginning. And I mean the very beginning of time. It comes from space beyond space, a void which holds the entirety of existence itself. This place is called the Macroverse, or as some call it, the Todash Darkness. Just like our planet, people can be from various different places, and this is the same for Pennywise. Inside of its own realm, he originated from a place called the Deadlights. We're not sure why, but Pennywise chooses to leave this cosmic land and venture out. Many millions of years ago, he found our universe and collided with Earth. When I was reading this, it kind of got me thinking, so Pennywise collided with Earth many millions of years ago, and the dinosaurs went extinct around 65 million years ago. I've always wondered if there is a correlation between Pennywise or it coming to Earth and the extinction of the dinosaurs. Upon his collision with Earth, it landed in what is now known as North America. Millions of years passed, and in 1715, the town of Derry, Maine was built on top of where Pennywise was slumbering. To be fair, if I owned a piece of land for like millions of years and somebody just decided to come in and build on top of me, I'd probably want to eat a few children too. Says the British person, the land of the colonizers, but hey, we don't punish here for the sins of the fathers, I promise. Now, depending on if you have read the books or not, you may or may not be aware of who Bob Gray is. Bob Gray is the real name of it. And although it is not human, he is a almost Lovecraftian, godly, vital force. The ordinary name adds a bit of a touch of surrealism to the normally very hard to pronounce names of other cosmic beings found in Lovecraftian horrors. Pennywise is insanely strong, and he has a whole bunch of powers, but the one he utilizes the most is the ability to transform. This does mean when Pennywise wants to be in his human form, the name Bob Gray will actually make it even easier for him to blend in with humans when he is on his hunt for his next victim. Pennywise's human form is not around that often. We don't really get to see it too frequently because this manifestation doesn't really strike fear into the hearts of people, and fear is what he wants the most. He has been known to say that frightened flesh tastes the best, as fear salts the meat. Out of all the bodies it portrays, the clown seems to be its favourite. Pennywise the Dancing Clown was actually a real person, and after it saw that people were afraid of him even when he was trying not to be scary, he knew this was the perfect form for him to take. So we know that the clown isn't its true form. However, it's one that he does prefer. It will take on the form using its ability to shapeshift into whatever victims fear the most. He's been known to be a homeless leper, the Wolfman. He's even been known to take the form of Bruce the Shark from Jaws. It seems there's no limit as to what he can actually become, but yet we rarely, if ever, see Pennywise's true form. From the novel, we read that Billy once caught a glimpse of Pennywise's true form in the deadlights. He recalled it as being an endless, crawling, hairy creature made of orange light. Billy and the Loser Squad later in the story get to battle Pennywise in his true form, to which they see it as an enormous spider. They're not fully capable of comprehending its true form, and so this was the closest thing their brains could associate with it. What is even stranger is that this true form of Pennywise is female and carrying an egg sac. I'm unsure if this means that it is by nature a female and has just been choosing to camouflage as males on Earth, or whether it's just a creature that has the ability to be asexual and reproduce on its own. Now, this ability to self-reproduce and shapeshift are not the only powers that Pennywise has. He is one with the shadows, and his presence is felt always throughout Derry. We all know from both the movies and the book that the first part of the story is all to do with Georgie's horrible death. There is a more subtle yet disturbing scare before this even happens. Georgie ventures into his basement for supplies to make his boat, and whilst making his way through the dark cellar, he notices a pair of glowing eyes watching him, watching every move he makes, waiting for the perfect opportunity to take Georgie. With a horrible gut feeling, Georgie quickly turns on his flashlight to see that there was nothing there. However, still scared and feeling the presence of Pennywise, he hurries upstairs thinking he's made his way to safety, but we know what's to come next. Some other of its abilities include mind control. We get to see Pennywise on multiple occasions controlling the actions of others, having them do his bidding for him. For example, we see Henry Bowers being controlled, trying to kill the Losers Club on its orders. It is also implied that Pennywise controls and influences the minds of the adults in Derry. For some reason, they're not able to see what the kids can, even when, for example, Beverly was covered in blood, the entire bathroom was drenched. Yet her dad, when he walked in, could not see any of it. He also has the ability to possess people. This was shown when Pennywise possessed Mr. Keene in order to get Eddie to leave Derry. Pennywise can also teleport. It can go to anywhere he wishes in an instant, but he is not bound to just earthly locations. It can also teleport into photos, TV shows, and other forms of media. Now, one of the more powerful abilities that Pennywise has is his immortality. We know he has already existed on Earth for millions and millions of years, but what we don't know is just how long he was traveling space for, or even how long he was inside his own macroverse for. It seems there is no regular way to kill it. It has been beaten and cut and sliced open, yet his regenerative ability keeps him alive. But there may be one way to rid him for good, and that is the ritual of Chud. However, it is heavily implied that its true form still exists within the macroverse and is eternal. This means he can never truly be killed. What is on Earth, this Pennywise, this creature, is not actually it. This is just a physical vessel and not his actual soul. We learn that the Ritual of Chud is an eldritch psychic battle of wills to help defeat evil spirits and demons. Bill first found this information about the ritual when he discovered a book called Night's Truth, and this was located at the Derry Public Library. It was said that the ritual was from an old Himalayan belief. These Himalayans knew of a demonic shapeshifter called Talus. In this myth, it was said that a holy man would battle Talus in a fight of wits. They would bite each other's tongues and tell each other riddles until one laughed. If the Talus laughed first, it would be banished for hundreds of years. If the holy man laughed first, his soul would be eaten. As children, Bill was one of the first from the Losers Club to engage with Pennywise. During one of these engagements, Pennywise was able to thrust Bill towards the Macroverse, sending him to the dreaded Deadlights. This, however, was all mental. His physical body was still on Earth. This is where we get to learn that Pennywise is not the only godly entity from the Macroverse. We are introduced to Maturin the Turtle. This seems to be Pennywise's enemy. Maturin the Turtle doesn't seem to be a force of evil, but instead offers Bill some words of wisdom. He told Bill, "You must help yourself. You've got to thrust your fists against the post and still insist you see the ghost. Once you get into cosmological shit like this, you've got to throw away the instruction manual." Bill, feeling determined, began fighting with it telepathically, biting his teeth into its tongue and saying he thrusts his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost. He says this again and again and again, and with all the faith and optimism Bill has, he wins the battle of wits. In the Losers Club's naivety, they forget the turtle's final piece of advice, which was to finish the deal, and they don't, and it gives it the opportunity to escape. In the second part of the story, when the Losers Club are finally adults, Bill is the first to face Pennywise head-on once again, this time in its true form as the female spider. Pennywise teases Bill, telling him the turtle died some time ago. He's now on his own and has no help in the Macroverse. Bill, being older and weaker this time, calls for help, and Richie comes to assist. They both this time get thrown into the Macroverse. Richie manages to rescue Bill from the Deadlights, but something's still not right, and Richie shouts for help as loud as he can with all of his might, and Eddie is able to hear him in the physical world. He comes to the rescue, attacking it with his aspirator. He manages to hurt Pennywise, but it retaliates, ripping off Eddie's arm. Eddie bleeds out and passes away. The boys' mental state is brought back to their physical bodies, and it flees further into the lair, dropping its eggs as it scurries away. But this time, the Losers Club refuse to let it escape. Ben stays to kill as many of its eggs as he can. Beverly stays with Eddie's body, and Bill and Richie leave to chase Pennywise. The boys fight it using every part of their belief, their childhood nostalgia and their love. Richie is knocked out, but Bill still keeps on fighting and manages to rip its heart out. Bill, with his bare hands, crushes its heart. And the team believes they finally defeated this Eldritch God. They feel safe, but what they weren't aware of is that when they killed its physical form, not only did they destroy him, but they also destroyed the connection he had with the town of Derry. After Pennywise's death, a powerful flood enters Derry, destroying the entrance to Pennywise's lair and destroying most of the town with it. Now, from this ending, we may believe that Pennywise is gone for good. However, there were still signs that may suggest Pennywise is not quite gone for good. As mentioned before, we're not quite sure whether the Losers Club had only killed a physical vessel of Pennywise, and its true form and soul is actually still out in the Macroverse. This would mean that he would have the ability to send another physical vessel down to Earth whenever he would want. Also, we saw that the female spider was pregnant. The creature did drop its eggs as it fled off during battle. Now, we were told that Ben stayed to crush them, but did he get them all? So what do you think? Do you believe Pennywise is still alive? That maybe his actual presence is still in the macroverse? Or maybe he was reborn from one of the eggs that wasn't found by Ben? Or maybe he is. Maybe Pennywise is gone. And I've heard rumors that Pennywise has actually appeared in Stephen King's other novels, or even the essence of Pennywise has been there. Let me know if you've read any of his works where the mention of Pennywise, or even the suggestion of the return of Pennywise, because I would love to read them. So just leave a comment and just let me know if you're aware of any. Apart from that, you guys, I thank you all so much if you've made it to the end of my video. I appreciate you all for liking, subscribing and commenting. Let me know if you have any suggestions, what you would like to see next. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.